How'd today's workout go?
It went really well. For the most part, we had some ebbs and flows in every phase. Offense got off to a very fast start in some of the competitive stuff we did. Defense came back and finished a little bit stronger probably than the offense did. Part of that, is when you're just game planning and you've got a little bit more time, the coaches tend to be a little bit more exotic in their thought process with just some extra practice time, but we'll get that cleaned up.
How's the game plan coming along? Are you starting to put stuff in?
Definitely, yeah. We're gonna have basically by the end of Saturday's time, we'll have our what would be considered a normal full week of practice with the game plan, and so hopefully when we get back down to Pasadena, we'll have another full week plus a couple bonus days and just hone in, fine tune, pare it down a little bit, and build the confidence.
Do you have any comments about Ifo?
Yeah, I will confirm that he won't participate in the playoff, which is very unfortunate for him. And he's already been Ifo in terms of leadership and already made a difference of kind of how he handled getting dinged up, but just a tough dude. And I expect our team to respond exactly how they've responded to everything else. I told them yesterday that if we just sat around and talked about injuries, there's no way that those guys could have done what they did in the Pac-12 championship game. If you look at that, we had 7 starters out offensively, and it's 51-7. And that's just a tribute to those guys, to the assistant coaches of staying the course. And, for whatever reason, we've been, snake bit this year, and we will galvanize.
Is it non-contact?
I don't want to get too much into it. Yeah, it was a non-contact injury, but other than that, yeah.
How's the team responded so far emotionally? When you say you think they'll do well, but that's a pretty devastating person for me. He's not even playing.
Well, yeah, and there's been a bunch of them. For whatever reason, this is our year for that, every single time our guys have been punched in the gut, they just kind of sucked it up and kept going. And both sides of the ball have been affected, and our guys haven't blinked, our coaches haven't blinked, and we've told you that, or we've talked about that before. We truly believe in that next guy and put him in there with total confidence, and we'll do it again.
Who will be the next guy?
Well, a combination of factors. Huh?
Dior and Cisse?
Yeah, Dior, Chris, and then those guys have been very interchangeable back there. Whether it's Arion, a combination of safeties moving around. There's always some movement week to week.
Will Ifo still go to the Rose Bowl?
The plan for that is yes. Right now, that kind of remains to be determined.
Mark, have you been happy with the secondary this year? Are you okay with the depth that you have in that area?
Yeah, what are we gonna? We can't sit here and go, wish we would have this, wish we'd have this. We love our team. Our guys are playing their tails off. They're working hard. They've worked harder and better every week this season, and that's the key. And again, that's a tribute to the assistants getting those guys ready and demonstrating confidence in those guys.
Has stardom gone to Marcus's head yet?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Just check.
Yeah, that's a good check.
Hey, Coach, in retrospect, did you get the desired effect that you wanted from the blue collars?
I don't know. I think again, probably not the right guy to ask in regards to stuff like that. But how our guys have worked this year and how the grit that they've shown, the toughness that they've shown, I think definitely.
And can you also talk about how DeForest has played this year?
Well, DeForest is a stud. He's a versatile guy, inside outside type of guy. Powerful, has developed into a much better pass rusher as the years have gone, and just really developing into a complete player.
Great, thanks. Because you talked about not wanting to get used to losing that, getting used to bouncing back. With injuries, like you said, there's been 3 or 4 of these now this season. You obviously don't want to get used to having to bounce back and then deal with those, but is that something that you can get used to as a team from a mental standpoint?
I think stuff like that is you have to kind of just put that into the category of whatever, weather, or a call that doesn't go your way, or a bounce that doesn't go your way. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. And there's, almost without exception, there's nothing that we could do about, some of the stuff that has happened. except look it right in the eye, flush it, and move on.
From a tuxedo on Letterman to the practice field, how has Marcus made the adjustment?
Great. You know, again, like I said on whatever day it was, I think he just wanted to be back out on the field, out doing his deal, the things that are natural to him, and he's been great.
Have you played a guy like Jameis Winston before?
He's a combination of guys. You know, he's probably more on the drop back passer side of things than the athletic side of things. Has a bunch of confidence in a bunch of guys, whether it's the tailback, giving those guys chances in the passing game. Obviously, have an unbelievably dynamic tight end receiver combination, and the guy just makes a ton of plays when it's on the line at the end.
So in regards to scout teams, remember, I think you guys had to use Brandon Barrett to beat Cam Newton because there wasn't a guy on the Ducks roster that resembled him physically at all. Who's playing Jameis here?
Well, Ty Griffin and Morgan Mahalik both are rotating in. We rotate both those guys in constantly, all the time to do that. But they're obviously not a Heisman Trophy defending champion.
With Ifo out, will you mainly rely on Troy Hill to cover shot green?
We'll rely on our team to respond great. That's what we'll rely on. It's not a one-man deal, in any phase. And our team's approach is what's the most important.
Because Florida State goes 4 or 5. I'm sorry, I bunch. Because they go 4 or 5 deep at a time. Yeah, so I was surprised you. Is the fear when you lose a guy like Ifo, not necessarily what happens to your number 1 cornerback, but how it impacts your number 4 and number 5 guy?
We just want those guys to be ready to play all the time.
Because moving guys up to them.
Yeah, we rotate those guys all around throughout fall camp, all throughout the season. They get 1 million reps. And so if you and I are playing next to each other in the secondary, we have confidence in each other at multiple spots, with the backup, with the freshman, with the senior, and we go.
You're terrible. Are you using the Florida State notebook for, is that the Florida State cheat sheet, or are you actually writing notes down in the Florida State notebook?
That's just notes for the week.
Okay. Do you do that? Each week? So when you play Oregon State, you got Oregon State?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
All right. Thanks.